Hi, welcome back to episode 2 of the Slow Podcast.
In this episode, we want to explore the thing that
You're
is
so pro, like
most-
straight away. You want to say?
yeah, I want to set the stage for them so that
Okay.
they're aware what we're talking about.
All right, okay. I can do that.
So in this episode, we are going to explore the thing that is the most important in our life,
That's right.
and it is love, and it is relationship.
That's right.
So where should we start?
I think it's a big question, right? How does love grow? How is love discovered? How is love built? And yeah, so we are a podcast that focus on things that takes time to grow. So they probably be spark when people first fall in love.
Like love at first sight.
Yep. But that's not the same love that will carry you through the relationship, the marriage, and the family life. Correct?
It's an ideal, of course. I still remember growing up watching the movie When Harry Met Sally. I'm not sure whether any one of you have watched that before.
Not my time.
But basically, so it's this story goes on where this kid calls up a call center and said, "Oh, my father is really lonely. I'm trying to find a wife. I'm trying to find a mother
Here we go.
and a wife for my dad." So the whole movie was about it. And at the end, when they finally met each other on top of Empire State Building, they fall in love and they have the spark in their eyes and they just went off and started life happily ever after. And growing up, that was
How
an
did you
ideal.
remember that movie?
I watched it 100 times, many times.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
So
So when we went to New York, you were not excited to go to that sandwich place
which sandwich place?
when Harry met Sally.
No, I was obsessed with Empire State Building because that was where they met each other and fell in love.
Oh, so it's not the sandwich, the pastrami. I mean.
I was obsessed with the end. Remember, I need it fast. I need the result.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of times, I think in our mind, we hope we could find love in that way.
Yeah.
Where you meet each other and sparks fly, and then you get
Sweeps you off
connected,
your feet.
and you fall in love, and you get married, and you live happily ever after.
Yeah.
But we didn't start off that way.
The reality is not
The reality is not. That's right.
like the movie, right?
Yeah.
So I think we have a big story about slow love. Wow, slow love. So we grew up together as friends. No, we started out as I am.
You were
Still am your brother's
yeah,
friend
my brother's friend.
first.
Yeah.
Then I got to know you. Then we became friends. Became good friends. And then kinda like dated. And then after that, you were taken far, far away.
Yeah. So the year we started dating, I think it was also the year we were separated physically, miles apart, right? And in those days, there was no data. There wasn't Facebook.
No. Was it internet?
There was internet.
But you didn't write emails?
Yeah, I didn't write emails back
Because
then.
you
It
don't
was
like-
not a thing. There was no data, so you couldn't FaceTime each other and voice call forever. There wasn't any of those things. And I was
How long were we apart first?
6 years?
5 years?
Yeah, 5 years
5
of
years.
long distance
5 years
relationship
of long distance relationship. Yeah.
without constant contact. So the only way we communicated with each other was that once a week on a Sunday night, where I would have to go buy this phone card that cost me
$50.
$50 that would last 15 minutes. So that was all I could afford. So we survived with 15 minutes of phone conversation
5 years.
once a week
For
for
5
5 years.
Yeah.
So how did we do that? I think that really resonates a lot with this concept of slow.
15 minutes times consistent 5 years.
Yeah,
That's quite good.
yeah.
So, but the interesting thing is in the 15 minutes, everything has to happen fast.
Yeah. We
Have to
have
talk
to
fast?
talk fast.
We have to argue fast.
Yeah.
We have to make peace fast.
We have to catch up with
Each
each
other
other's life fast.
Report about what happened last week,
Yeah.
what we're doing now, and what is going to happen next week.
Yeah.
Fast.
Yeah.
But we have to do it slowly over time of 5 years to actually build to when we finally got married, who we are now.
Yeah. And to really get to know each other from a distance, not being able to see each other face to face, just through each other's voices and what we tell each other, the stories we tell each other. It took us a while to build that trust and communication.
Yeah.
And I think for me, the biggest thing I learned from that whole experience is to snap out of my negative emotions as fast as I can, because it costs me money if I want to stay angry.
Okay. If we don't talk to each other on the phone,
Yeah.
every minute counts.
Every minute counts. And once that timer hits 15 minutes, it cuts us off. And that's it for the week. And
we cannot talk to each other until the
following Sunday. So you will live Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all the way through to Saturday miserable, because you're wondering what's on your partner's mind, what he's thinking about. Is he still upset?
Or the fiery emotion could have just subsided by the 4th day.
Yeah.
And then when we talk on the phone again, we are both happy again.
Yeah. So it kind of forces us to deal with a lot of issues head on and talk about it and not keep it in, and trying to hope that your partner can read your mind. Yeah. So over the course of that 6 years, that was the biggest thing I learned, was to communicate assertively and effectively. What did you learn?
I learned that space is good for us. I was busy and you were busy. But we have a commitment on the Sunday night to talk to each other. So to me, that pattern preps me so that when it comes to Sunday night, the time when we talk, I would have decided what I want to tell you, what are the things that's important, that's happening. But of course, sometimes argument. But of course, in those days, right, we would think that, man, it would have been so much better if I can see you or I can talk to you anytime. But now that I think about it, these days, when FaceTime is free, WhatsApp call is free, WhatsApp video is free, there's so many. Zoom is free for, this is not a paid ad, by the way. It's 40 minutes, right? 40 minutes. Team, is it 40 minutes? Free, right?
Yeah.
But people struggle. I think it's harder if you constantly able to call each other and check on each other. Or
the biggest struggle right now is when I text my partner and I don't expect a text in return, and I see that blue tick, but they don't reply. Oh, like
what are you?
They'll flare up
are
and
you
explode.
avoiding me?
Yeah, or you don't love me enough.
I just text some people, but they don't reply me.
Yeah, and this is the common struggle that I hear from dating couples when they come on coaching with me. They said, it feels like I'm not important. I have to wait for a whole day for that text to be replied. But I see him or her being online on WhatsApp. I see them online, but they're not replying me. And they get upset and they get into a fight.
Yeah, I think that room, that space, it's truly very critical to just focus on the part that this is what I have to do, and don't keep expecting what the other side got to do, because they could be online, but they could be working. Like, for example, yesterday I was having a meeting and some of our friends in the community was trying to arrange a dinner. By the time I finished the meeting, there were like 63 messages. I'm not going to scroll all the way up to see what was the conversation about. But I was online. I just clicked on my phone, but I never read. So I think these are some of the modern day issues that couples are facing when it comes to relationship.
And it takes time to build, right? In relationship, you want that mutual trust and respect. So you can't get it instantly. right? When you get into a relationship, you expect all of those things. But it takes time for you to inspire change in each other or influence each other in that way. So, and it takes time to learn how to communicate in a way that your partner gets you.
Yeah.
I think that's where a lot of relationships struggle at in the beginning phases, where they expect instant love, like instant reply, instant affection.
I think it can be instant if you have built over time.
Yeah.
Right? That means I can instantly show love to you if there was a love bank that we've built over the years. So for example, these days when I have to work overseas and I can call you at night before we go to bed, we can talk for hours without even thinking much about it, and we just chat, and sometimes just quite aimless, talking, laughing at each other. But I know a lot of couples can't do that, but we could. But it wasn't automatic. We had built like 5 years of.
Yeah.
I guess after a while, sometimes I realized perhaps we talk on the phone better than we talk to each other face
In
to
real
face,
life.
right?
Yeah.
But again, that is what slow it's all about. It's focusing on that which takes time to grow. And you're focusing on consistency. You're focusing on intention. Rather than always focusing on the result, focusing on what we have to do together all the time. Once we do that well, then the result is a byproduct of what we have invested our time into. So yeah, we have invested a lot of money into phone calls.
Yeah. So looking back on hindsight, I think that 5 years of being in a long distance relationship really built that strong foundation that we have today in our marriage. And
Especially in the area of communication,
yeah,
I would say. Yeah.
so if what kind of advice would you give someone out there, who's in that place in their relationship where they need something, they want something, but they're not getting it, and they're wondering, like, right, should they give up, should they go on, right? They're not getting the results that they want.
Yeah, I think first thing first is to realize that results will not be instant. Number two, focus on whatever that you are doing with one another, that you're enjoying each other, like having a meal, going for a movie or going for a walk. Sometimes I think we are too focused on, okay, what is the end result of this? What do I want to see as a result? You probably won't know. You won't be able to always articulate that. But it doesn't mean your meals together are meaningless. Your walk together are pointless, or your going to the movies doesn't achieve anything. So if I have an advice based on what we have been through, it is to continue doing all those things, enjoying all those things. Yeah, and relationship is not like a company goal or company target.
Yeah.
Just keep building it, and one day when we need assurances or confidence or love or encouragement, we can always go back to the bank of what we have built over the years and pull them out to actually realize that, my husband actually loves me, or my wife actually loves me, or my partner actually loves me. And without that, and you're facing difficulty, you will feel quite alone, you will feel quite abandoned. But that's emotion, right? And it's not true. But if I go back to how my wife has sacrificed buying all the phone cards, then you will realize, wow, there's a lot put into what we are here.
Mind you, back then I felt I sacrificed more because based on the time difference, by the time
You have to say that?
yeah, I get to make that call, it's midnight my time.
Yeah.
And it was just 9 p.m. your time.
Yep.
So I sacrificed more, but it's okay.
Yeah. Before we get into fighting mode,
But the
we
key
should
thing,
end the
yeah.
episode here now. Okay, finished.
The key thing I wanted to say is this. So we know relationship takes time, right? To grow. If you don't do the small things well, the small talks well, you can never do those big talks when the time comes.
Yeah.
So that is what we want to leave with you from this episode.
So, yeah.
If this has been helpful,
Make sure
Please.
you like,
Yeah.
subscribe, and share it with somebody because it is a new podcast that you have discovered. Ta.